Welcome back to Change Your Life. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Jefferson nickel coin values, iconic designs, shocking history, and hidden treasures most people completely ignore. In this video, we'll explore the top 3 most valuable, expensive, and ultra-rare Jefferson nickels from the United States of America. 2001 D. Jefferson Nickel. 2002 D. Jefferson Nickel. 2007 P. Jefferson Nickel. These are 5-cent copper nickel-clad coins, but some examples show unusual red to dark brown toning, mint errors, and rare characteristics that can dramatically increase their value. Even dirty, damaged, and heavily circulated coins, the ones that look completely ordinary, can sometimes be worth thousands, or even millions of dollars today. So before you spend that old nickel, stick around. Because you might be holding a fortune in your hands. First up, coin number 1. The 2001 D. Jefferson Nickel looks harmless at first glance. 5 cents. Small. Lightweight. The kind of coin people throw into jars, car cup holders, or lose between sofa cushions without a second thought. But history has a strange habit of hiding behind ordinary faces, and this nickel is one of those coins that quietly sits in pockets while carrying a story far bigger than its size. When this coin left the Denver Mint in 2001, no one imagined it would one day spark debates, rumors, and shock across the coin collecting world. Yet today, collectors whisper about certain examples of this coin as if they are ticking time bombs of hidden value. The year 2001 was a turning point for U.S. coinage. Production numbers were high, quality control was under pressure, and speed often mattered more than perfection. That environment created something dangerous and powerful in the coin world: inconsistency. Most 2001 D. Jefferson nickels are worth exactly 5 cents. But a tiny number escaped the mint carrying unusual characteristics, subtle changes in surface texture, strange color toning, unexpected metal behavior, and mysterious wear patterns that do not match normal circulation. These are the coins that collectors hunt for, the ones that turn an ignored nickel into an object of obsession. One of the most talked about features is unusual red to dark brown toning. Copper nickel coins are not supposed to look that way. When they do, it raises questions. Was the metal mix slightly off? Was the coin exposed to extreme heat, chemicals, or environmental conditions right after minting? Or did something happen during production that altered the surface permanently? In rare cases, this toning is natural, slow, and stable, something collectors value deeply because it cannot be easily replicated. When such toning appears on a 2001 D. Jefferson nickel, especially evenly spread across Jefferson's portrait or the reverse, it can multiply interest instantly. Then there is condition, which confuses many people. Logic says damaged and dirty coins should be worthless. But in the collector world, logic often bends. A heavily circulated 2001 D. Jefferson nickel with unusual wear patterns, strange softness and detail, or metal flow distortions can hint at minting anomalies. Some collectors believe that a few coins from this year were struck under abnormal pressure, causing long-term weakness in the metal. Over time, these coins wear in ways that normal nickels do not. To an untrained eye, they look abused. To the right collector, they look suspicious in a valuable way. The Denver Mint mark itself adds another layer of intrigue. D-mint coins are common, yes, but common does not mean insignificant. When millions of coins are struck, even a 1 in a million mistake becomes real. Some collectors claim that specific 2001 D nickels show microscopic doubling, die stress lines, or surface ripples that suggest dies were pushed beyond their intended lifespan. These features are not loud errors. They don't jump out. They whisper. And whispering coins are often the ones that separate casual collectors from serious money. Stories circulate in private collector circles about damaged-looking 2001 D. Jefferson nickels pulled from pocket change and later re-evaluated as rare mint anomalies. These stories don't always make headlines. They move quietly, through word of mouth, private sales, and closed-door negotiations. Prices discussed in these circles can sound unbelievable to outsiders. 4 figures. 5 figures. In extreme legends, even higher. Not because the coin is gold or silver, but because it is unique, unrepeatable, and surrounded by uncertainty, the most powerful currency in collecting. The idea that a 5-cent coin could change a life overnight sounds impossible. And most of the time, it is. But collecting history is full of moments where disbelief came first and acceptance came later. Coins once dismissed as junk have later rewritten price guides. The key difference is knowledge. The people who spend these coins remain unaware. The people who study them slow down, look closer, and refuse to rush. That pause, that moment of doubt before spending, is where fortunes are sometimes born. What makes the 2001 Jefferson Nickel especially dangerous to ignore is how normal it feels. No silver shine. No dramatic size. No immediate warning sign. It blends in perfectly with modern change. That camouflage is exactly why some of the most interesting examples are still out there, scraped, dirty, and forgotten. Collectors know that the worst-looking coins often deserve the closest inspection. Damage can hide truth. Dirt can protect surfaces. Circulation can reveal weaknesses that never appear on pristine coins. History will not remember every 2001 Jefferson nickel. Most will live and die as spare change. But history never needs many examples. It only needs a few. A few coins with the wrong color. A few coins with the wrong wear. A few coins that refuse to behave like the rest. Those few are enough to rewrite value, ignite rumors, and make people question what else they've been ignoring all their lives. So if you ever come across a 2001 Jefferson nickel that looks strange, darker than it should be, unusually worn, or simply off in a way you can't explain, stop. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Don't rush to sell it cheaply. The coin world does not reward speed, it rewards patience. That small, ugly nickel might not change your life. But history has shown that sometimes, against all odds, it does. And that is the real power of this coin. Not certainty. Not guarantees. But possibility. The kind of possibility that turns 5 cents into a question mark. And sometimes, a question mark is worth more than any answer. The 2002 Jefferson nickel may look like an ordinary coin at first glance, but appearances are deceptive. To most people, it is just a 5-cent piece, a small fragment of metal that passes through hands unnoticed, tucked into wallets, jars, or lost in the cracks of furniture. Yet within this unassuming coin lies a story of rarity, subtle anomalies, and untold possibilities. While millions of nickels were minted that year in Denver, only a handful carry characteristics that make them extraordinarily valuable, transforming a simple coin into a coveted treasure. It is a reminder that in the world of coins, even the most ordinary-looking pieces can conceal extraordinary secrets. The minting process in 2002 was rigorous but far from flawless. Dies wore down, pressure varied, and speed often took precedence over perfection. Within these production lines, tiny deviations occurred that would later create mystery and fascination for collectors. Some 2002 Jefferson nickels developed unusual red to dark brown toning, a characteristic that occurs when the copper-nickel alloy reacts to environmental conditions over time. This toning is not uniform or artificial, it is subtle, sometimes uneven, often hiding in small recesses or along the edges. For collectors, this color anomaly is a signal that the coin may be something rare, something that could be worth far more than its 5-cent face value. Condition complicates the story in an unexpected way. Most people assume that a dirty, heavily circulated, or damaged coin is worthless. Yet in the collector world, these so-called imperfections can be a clue, a hint of hidden value. Coins that appear rough or abused may have survived unique circumstances, like unusual die stress during minting, early exposure to elements, or uneven circulation that reveals rare patterns in wear. These imperfections, rather than reducing the coin's worth, sometimes increase it exponentially. A 2002 Jefferson nickel that looks like junk in your pocket may be hiding characteristics that make it rare and highly sought after by serious collectors. The Denver Mint mark itself adds an extra layer of intrigue. While D coins were produced in large quantities, quantity alone does not erase uniqueness. Small variations in the striking process, such as die cracks, minute doubling, or slight metal flow anomalies, can appear in isolated coins. Most people will never notice these details, and that is precisely what makes them valuable. A nickel that looks ordinary to the naked eye can hide a history that collectors would pay thousands, even millions, to uncover. Stories about these coins circulate quietly in private collector circles. A 2002 Jefferson nickel pulled from a jar of change might end up in a collection for decades, only to be rediscovered and evaluated under magnification. Coins that appeared worthless at first glance suddenly reveal subtle toning, unusual strike patterns, or other anomalies that create excitement. The market reacts unpredictably to such discoveries, and prices can rise to levels that seem unimaginable. One small nickel, sitting unnoticed, can become a conversation piece, a legend, and potentially a fortune. There is also a psychological element at play. The allure of rarity, the fear of missing out, and the thrill of discovery all converge in the story of this coin. Collectors are drawn to it not just for metal value but for the story it tells, the secrets it holds, and the chance to own something unique. The 2002 Jefferson Nickel is a symbol of that hidden potential. In the hands of someone patient, observant, and knowledgeable, it can be a key to extraordinary opportunities. Those who rush to spend or dismiss it may never realize its true worth. The danger lies in casual handling. Cleaning, polishing, or attempting to artificially enhance the coin destroys subtle clues. A little dirt may be protecting rare toning. Heavy circulation may have preserved characteristics that would otherwise be lost. A coin that looks damaged might, paradoxically, be more valuable than a pristine example. Every scratch, discoloration, and imperfection tells a story. Remove or alter it, and the story and value can vanish forever. History remembers only the rarest examples, not the ordinary bulk of coins produced. Most 2002 Jefferson Nickels will circulate and be spent without fanfare, yet the few that display unusual characteristics become part of collector legend. They carry a history that is invisible to the untrained eye, whispering tales of minting anomalies, environmental exposure, and market fascination. These coins are living artifacts, bridging the past and present, connecting everyday people to a hidden world of potential fortune. So, if you ever come across a 2002 Jefferson Nickel that feels unusual, darker, softer, oddly worn, or otherwise different, pause. Don't spend it. Don't clean it. Don't assume it is worthless. Examine it, study it, and consider the stories it might hold. In the coin world, possibility is more valuable than certainty. And sometimes, one small nickel, overlooked for decades, can transform an ordinary life into something extraordinary. The 2007 Jefferson Nickel may appear to be just another ordinary coin, a tiny 5-cent piece slipping unnoticed through wallets, jars, and cash registers across the United States. Its copper-nickel composition, common design, and standard size make it blend seamlessly with everyday change. But appearances are deceptive. Hidden within certain examples of this coin is a world of mystery, subtle anomalies, and staggering possibilities that few people ever recognize. A coin that seems worthless at first glance can, in reality, hold the potential to transform a collector's life overnight. When the Philadelphia Mint struck the 2007 Jefferson Nickels, production was fast-paced and efficiency-driven. Millions of coins rolled off the presses with mechanical precision, yet even in modern minting, tiny irregularities inevitably occur. A small shift in die pressure, a slight variation in the copper-nickel alloy, or a minute environmental factor during production could create a coin that behaved differently over time. These deviations are nearly invisible to the casual eye but are exactly what makes certain 2007 Jefferson Nickels extraordinary. In the world of coin collecting, subtlety can mean fortune. Perhaps the most captivating feature of some of these nickels is the unusual red to dark brown toning. Unlike the standard silver gray of most circulated nickels, these coins take on rich, deep hues that seem almost alive, flowing naturally across the surface. This toning is not artificial, it is the result of chemical and environmental interactions over years, giving the coin a unique personality. Collectors prize these features because they cannot be duplicated, replicated, or mass-produced. A 2007 Jefferson Nickel with such toning stands out quietly, whispering its rarity to anyone patient enough to notice. Condition adds another layer of intrigue. At first glance, many of these coins may appear dirty, heavily circulated, or even damaged. To a non-collector, that makes them worthless. But in reality, these so-called imperfections often hint at hidden value. Uneven wear, softening of details, or irregular surface texture can point to unusual striking conditions at the mint or unique circulation history. A coin that looks battered may, paradoxically,
be far more significant than a pristine, ordinary example.
In the hands of a knowledgeable collector, such a nickel becomes a key to understanding the secrets of its own past. The Philadelphia Mint mark, the P, also plays a subtle but important role. While millions of coins carry this mark, small variations in striking, die wear, or metal flow can make a specific coin stand out. Some 2007 P nickels show faint die lines, minor doubling, or uneven textures that are almost impossible to detect without close inspection. These are not dramatic errors, they are whispers of uniqueness, hidden anomalies that only reveal themselves to patient, observant collectors. And it is often these quiet differences that can drive prices into the thousands or even millions for the right specimen.
Collector stories surrounding these coins are legendary yet understated.
Imagine a 2007 P Jefferson nickel pulled casually from a jar of change or a forgotten drawer.
At first, it looks like any other nickel, dull, worn, ordinary.
But when examined under magnification, the coin might reveal subtle toning, strange wear patterns, or other anomalies that elevate it far beyond its face value.
In private sales and collector circles, such discoveries can trigger bids and interest that outsiders would find unimaginable.
The coin becomes more than metal, it becomes a story, a mystery, and a potential fortune. There is also a psychological dimension that makes these coins so captivating. The thrill of discovery, the fear of missing out, and the allure of rarity combine to create an intense fascination. The 2007 P Jefferson nickel is not just valuable for its metal, it is valuable for the possibilities it represents. It challenges assumptions, tests patience, and rewards knowledge. To the collector who studies carefully, observes closely, and refuses to rush, even a single nickel can become a treasure beyond imagination.
Handling is critical.
Cleaning, polishing, or attempting to artificially enhance a coin destroys subtle clues that hint at its uniqueness. Dirt may actually protect the toning, and wear patterns may preserve rare characteristics that define its value. A coin that seems damaged might, paradoxically, be a rare example that is far more desirable than a pristine counterpart.
Every discoloration, scratch, or soft detail carries part of the coin story. Remove or alter it, and its potential fortune may vanish forever. History remembers only the extraordinary, not the ordinary.
Millions of 2007 P Jefferson nickels will circulate, be spent, and fade into oblivion. Yet the few that developed unusual characteristics, whether toning, minting anomalies, or irregular wear, become legends. They connect collectors to hidden aspects of mint history, environmental quirks, and the unpredictable paths that coins take through time.
Each rare nickel is a bridge between ordinary daily life and extraordinary possibility.
So if you ever come across a 2007 P Jefferson nickel that feels unusual, darker, softer, or oddly worn, pause. Do not spend it casually, do not clean it, do not assume it has no value. Examine it, study it, and respect the history it may hold.
In the world of coin collecting, possibility often outweighs certainty.
And sometimes, a single nickel, hidden and overlooked for years, can change a life and a fortune overnight.